Hey Fools, I'm Eric Bleeker. I'm joined here by Fool analyst Joe Tambruso from our Supernova and Stock Advisor products. We want to talk about Facebook right now. Specifically, this is a company it seemed like no one wanted to touch about 9 months ago, and now it's hitting all-time highs, soaring past, around $42 a share as we film. Question is, if you're an investor out there on the sidelines, have you already missed Facebook's run? Or would you be crazy not to get in and buy Facebook right now?
It's amazing how quickly things change, right? With Facebook, I think you want to focus on some of the long-term trends that are impacting the company. And primary one is we're seeing a mass migration of advertising spending away from TV to some extent to internet, right? And particularly in the social media space. And that's where Facebook is king. Facebook has well over 1 billion users, but more importantly, and I think sometimes is overlooked by investors, is the value of their data collection, right? I mean, these billion users are going out almost on a daily basis and telling Facebook what they like, what they're interested in. That data is extremely valuable to advertisers. It allows them to better target their spending. And, Charlie Munger said that Google had probably the biggest moat he's ever seen, or at least one of the biggest. And one of the reasons he said that was because of this kind of data collection cycle, whereby, the more data collected is by Google and by Facebook, the better they target their ads, the more cash they collect, and they funnel that back into improving their products, expanding their product offerings, and collecting more data. It's a very virtuous cycle. And I think Facebook, like Google, has that type of virtuous cycle going. And even though the stock is now past its IPO price, it's had a great run, this could be the beginning of a multi-year trend.
Yeah, and with me and Facebook, I originally, when an IPO, did not like the stock. Once it got cheaper, I started kind of changing my tune a bit, like, well, this is getting more in line. And now I'm at the point that I like Facebook. And the reason for that being, you look at it, it gets about 3 times as many visits as Yahoo. Mm-hmm. Yahoo gets about 5 billion revenue. And granted, they've got some search in there, but Facebook just recently passed the revenues of Yahoo. If they were able to get commensurate revenue per kind of visit, this would be a company that would be about 3x its current size. It would be about 15 billion in top line. The problem is with advertising, it's extremely hard to scale on users because you're getting all this traffic, but historically all you've been doing is selling banner ads. So my take on Facebook was always, it's a company that I wasn't afraid to invest in. I just didn't want to invest in a banner business because once you're, getting page views out into the far billions, there's not a lot of inventory to be filled, and that inventory is extremely cheap. However, what they've done is they've created some serious buzz and some serious results, more importantly, around in kind of stream advertising. They've taken advertising and they've put it in a place that people are actually clicking on it more rather than just being good old-fashioned brand advertising.
Sure.
What that is, it's a wholesale disruption in many ways of what advertising is online. I think a lot of people don't appreciate how good that's been. And what's really fascinating about it too is often when you create a new form of advertising, you get these immediate pops, but they go away. Because same thing, people start ignoring banners. The thought process I initially had with Facebook going in stream, okay, we got the initial results, but in 9 months, will people still be clicking on these? It looks like they are still clicking on them. So they've got a new form of advertising that advertisers are extremely interested in. It scales extremely well to mobile. And like I said, it hasn't seen the kind of fall off I expected it to. So, well, some people might go, is it really that much of a revolution putting some ads inside a newsfeed? Yes, 100%. It absolutely, fundamentally changes the face of this business and moves it from something that couldn't scale revenues with the size of its traffic to something that far more easily can, and advertisers are extremely on board with. So I like Facebook a lot today, even though it's gotten more expensive. It's gotten more expensive because it's a fundamentally different business than when it IPO'd.
Yeah, a big concern was when they introduced that new feature, was it going to hit the user engagement, right? Was it going to aggravate their customers in a sense where those ads were intrusive? Facebook hasn't seen that to a large extent. So, it's a very sticky service. You can get aggravated by the ads, you can try and not go on it for a while, but a lot of people, once you spent all that time building up your Facebook page, you spent that time and you gotten used to communicating with your friends and family through that medium, it's tough to break free from that. And I think Facebook as a whole is a much more sticky service than people give it credit
Yeah.
for.
Everyone talks about people getting tired of Facebook, but never reflected in the numbers. And, that's what we're looking at, the numbers. So, anyways, that's our take on Facebook, looking like a buy even at the elevated prices. For all of your news on the company, make sure to check backtofool.com. Fool on.